All right, well, I'll be winging this without my slides. Since our first Our Ocean conference, Secretary Kerry had the foresight to include marine pollution as a key issue in the Our Oceans conference. Since then, many of the people in this room and others have worked together to raise awareness about the issue as well as to seek solutions. So where have we come since then? Well, I believe that it's rare to have an issue where so many individuals, corporations, NGOs, multinationals, and others are working together toward a common goal. I'm pleased to announce on behalf of the Trash-Free Seas Alliance their commitment of $100 million in investment to avoid or replace at least 500,000 tons per year of ocean plastic, as well as $100 million of financial investment. Oh, there we go, okay. Individuals, financial institutions, governments, multinationals, NGOs, corporations, and our Trash-Free Seas Alliance announcement. I would pose that we are all in. A great example is in the United States, where our political situation is difficult, to say the least. So when a Republican senator from an inland state touts a recent issue of National Geographic about ocean plastic and works with his Democratic colleagues to pass the Save Our Seas Act, which was just signed into law, it's a testament to the power of raising awareness as well as the commonality of this issue. As we're here today, I would say that we are all in, and we've learned a lot. We know where the plastic is currently leaking from, and we expect this to shift as more countries develop their economies. We also know that solid waste management is a key part of the solution to addressing this leakage, and that we're going to need to make further investments. Currently, a tiny portion of development finance goes toward solid waste management. That's why it's really important to see countries like Indonesia take a leadership role and pledge $1 billion per year towards solutions. But this is not just a regional problem. This is a global issue. That's why it's also promising to see efforts like the Clean Seas Initiative, which was recently launched by the KfW and others, that will provide 2 billion euros in financing. Certainly, we're going to need more financing to advance the circular economy, which includes things like our reusable water bottles that we've received today, and was a key part of the recent plastics charter signed by 5 of the 7 G7 countries this past summer in Canada. We also need to increase the collection and recycling of material, but keeping in mind that we still need to get the material from the home to a recycling facility. A number of people here in the room are working on recycling. The Coca-Cola Company has recently launched their World Without Waste program focused on improving their recycling. We also need to reduce single-use plastics, and we have just heard some commitments that are part of the European Commission law that was passed to reduce single-use items, including many tools such as extended producer responsibility. Plastic bags are one single-use item that we can certainly do without, and Chile has recently become the first Latin American country to ban them. Straws are another item that many of us can do without. Ocean Conservancy launched the Skip the Straw program 5 years ago, and last year Adrian Kinnear asked us all to stop sucking. Just in the past few months, a number of major corporations have eliminated the plastic straw. The microbead is a small single-use item that we can also probably do without, and a number of countries have banned them. But even if we eliminate all the microbeads, we're still having a rising problem of microplastics. Microfibers are just one component of microplastics that we need to learn more about. But we can't wait for the science to start implementing solutions. We know we need to do things like capturing microfibers in the wash. The Patagonia company is recently supplying washer bags with their products to do just that. And while in the coastal areas, many of the microfibers are coming from our clothing, in open ocean, much of the microfiber is coming from disintegrated fishing gear. So we know we need to address the issue of abandoned, lost, or discarded fishing gear, not only because of the microplastic problem, but also because it's obviously very damaging to marine life. We need to incentivize the return of this fishing gear, and the Triple GI, you'll hear more about this, has recently launched a pilot program here in Indonesia to return gill nets. Ultimately, we need to keep plastic out of the ocean, but we also need to clean up what we can. Not only will it remove some waste, but it's also a very important tool to raising awareness with individuals, governments, and corporations about the problem. So finally, let me take you to the lovely spot in Timor-Leste where I was last week. This family is part of one of many coastal communities that rely on the ocean. And their government has launched an aggressive campaign on ocean plastic, including reusing these bags made of cassava instead of plastic. It's a great example of a redesigned product. So thank you, Minister Susi, for bringing us all here together today to seek solutions on the ocean plastic problem. Thank you.